Alright everybody, welcome back to Conquer and Commander. This is a game featuring my Prime Speaker Zegana deck. For the complete deck list, go to puremtgo.com, look up my article series Conquer and Commander, and hopefully I will also have a link in the video description shortly as well. This is kind of an early version of the deck. It still had one or two little tweaks that I need to make, but it's more or less set. Let's take a look at our opponents. First up, we got over here Azusa, Lost But Seeking. Lots of green ramp, lots of big scary green stompy things. So Azusa is definitely going to be on our radar. Hopefully she won't have too much, but the good thing is I am running a couple of clone variants, so hopefully I'll be able to copy big stuff she puts out there. We've also got Obzedat, Ghost Council. Basically just wars off control most of the time. Sometimes you'll see them with an extort theme, sometimes not, so it can be a variety of things. Finally, we've got Sliver Queen, and you would expect a bunch of slivers. This deck doesn't really go that route. There is the occasional sliver, but with a 5-color deck you can do just about anything, and this guy decides to go ahead and take advantage of that. Let's take a look at my hand. My hand isn't the best hand, however, it does have exploration going early on, and I can basically cast Skyshroud Claim on the second turn, especially because I have 4 lands. It's going to really dump my hand really quick, but hopefully I'll be able to draw into something big and scary soon. So I go ahead and keep this hand. Sliver Queen starts things off. Oh yeah, my play space is over here. So I do the first turn exploration. Let me move this over here real quick. Okay. My hand is going to get big. So I'm just going to try and make room for it. Gemhide Sliver is a first turn sliver right there. I do Skyshroud Claim. I draw Phantasmal Image. Here's the big issue though, is that I am missing Breeding Pool from the deck at this point. Which means that I miss out on a second blue mana source. I've only got Tropical Island in here. So immediately after this game, yes, I do put Breeding Pool into the deck. However, I've got 2 clone variants, one of which is Sakashima, which has 2 blue, and of course Prime Speaker has 2 blue. So I'm missing out on that element. I do ramp I'm out ramping the Azusa player right now. So that's cool. Sliver Queen plays Sylvan Library. I decide I want to copy the Gemhide Sliver just so I can have another blue mana source, and just in case there's like a blue or a pump coming from the Sliver Queen player. Azusa does come out, and now he has a total of 6 mana and could have more soon. Obzedat plays Underworld Connections on his planes. The Queen doesn't draw from the library, but does play Trinket Mage, getting a Soul Ring and playing it. I got Rite of Replication, and at this point, I use the right on Trinket Mage to go for my Soul Ring. Probably not the best play. I probably should have used Sakashima to copy it, just because I can always write kicked sometime soon, but what I did use my Rite of Replication, and that's just a play mistake right there. And then I play the Soul Ring. Overwhelming Stampede isn't doing anything. Azusa Harmonizes, plays 2 more forests and does nothing. Lightning Greaves for Obzedat, and then pays to draw a card. Sliver Queen plays Teferi's Puzzle Box. Okay, so the Puzzle Box is an interesting card, and what it's hopefully going to do is draw me into either a big fat beater or something or anything. I just need to draw something so that... Well, other than that, I'm going to be playing Prime Speaker here soon just for 2 cards. Not that that's the most horrible thing, but it's not the best. So I've got 3 cards. And yes, I do play Prime Speaker for the extra 2 cards. And what I'm hoping is that I'll get 2 new cards and I'll be able to puzzle box. I'm not going to play my lands just so that I can have more land here in the future. Oh no, I lied. I played both my lands. And then I played that's right, because I had Soul's Majesty. So I could draw into more cards. So I don't mind this hand, or dumping this hand actually. And I sent my Trinket Mage after the Obzedat player just because he was open. So Azusa is going to puzzle box and draws 6 new cards, 5. Okay, this is the interesting thing. Azusa has like 12 mana available and doesn't play anything. So just an unlucky draw or something is just kind of crazy. We got lucky. Swords to Plowshares on Azusa from Obzedat. Plays Swiftfoot Boots, so there's a definite haste theme right there. Oh yeah, Gate to the Aether. So it's turning, the Sliver Queen deck is turning into sort of a group huggish type deck. Not really sure. I mean, this is kind of a group hug card right here, because essentially you get to put stuff into play for free as long as it's not a sorcery or an instant. And I don't have a ton of sorceries and instants. I've got a few, but not a ton. So, you know, I got a land, I ramp a little bit, I get rid of this hand, and my new hand has good stuff in it. So I've got Survival, Overbeing of Myth, who's going to help me with my draw. Morrow, who's not the best, and then Morrow, or Master Biomancer, who's going to make my dudes bigger, especially Prime Speaker. So now that Azusa's kind of open, I'm just going to start targeting him. I mean, even if it's only 5 points of damage, I'm going to do it. And then I'm going to try and start dumping my hand a little bit. I play my Biomancer, and then Overbeing. And then I think I play the guy... Oh, Survival, there it is. Survival doesn't work the best right now by doing it during opponents' turns, because again, there's puzzle box out there, so whatever I survival for right now, I won't get to keep in my hand. But it is good for future turns, and I kind of misuse it next. So we'll see. Obzedat draws a card. Azusa plays Ant Queen. Gets Ant Queen from Gate to the Aether, so now she can make a bunch of ants. And there's Dungrove Elder. That's problematic. They're not ants, they're insects, my bad. It looks like a friggin' ant to me. Whatever. So, Expedition Mount for Obzedat. Plays another land, and then casts Kokusho with Greaves. Puts the Greaves on it, but does not attack with it. So that's interesting. We'll see what Sliver Queen does here. Ramps a little bit by putting Vivid Creek into play with the Gate to the Aether. Yes. So she played Evacuation. So everybody's cards go back to their hands. And then he's going to Trinket Mage again. What does he Trinket Mage for? Oh, I remember. Okay. So I used Survival to get Prime Speaker out of my hand. I wanted to make sure that I also didn't draw into Descendant of Masamaro. This is just a goofy card that I threw into the deck, and I just didn't want to deal with it, so I know I'm going to get rid of it, just like I'm getting rid of all these cards due to Teferi's Puzzle Box. And he searched up Elixir of Immortality. So, Puzzle Box gives me a new hand of a lot of fun stuff. Let's stop. Now, there's no big beater here, which is sad and unfortunate. But I got Brawn from Gate to the Aether, so that's in play. And I've got Molimo and Mana Reflection, a bunch of other cool stuff. So I'm going to try and put Mana Reflection out there first. And then I play Molimo, and I put Swiftfoot Boots on him, and I get to the, I Kodama's Reach, getting another land into play, and I attack Azusa. Yeah, I pretty much go after Azusa this whole game. I didn't play Burgeoning mainly because I just didn't want to get rid of these cards, and I wanted new cards from the puzzle box. But my plan is, I'm hoping that Molimo lives so that I can Prime Speaker next turn. Azusa's down to 23. She gets a land. Horn of Greed. That's good, right? Especially for Azusa players. Azusa's going to come out and play some more lands and draw some more cards. I'm also hoping that the horn sticks around for me. But they're okay. This kind of slows me down. He plays Hall of Gemstone, which limits everybody to one colored mana during each of their turns. So I'm not going to be able to play Prime Speaker next turn if Hall of Gemstone stays out there. I've got to hope that I draw into some green removal. Obzedat gets Sun Droplet from the Gate to the Aether. I'm not worried about that right now. He gets 7 new cards in hand. And he plays Martyr's Bond, which is also problematic because he's going to sacrifice Expedition Map, which means that each of us is going to have to sacrifice a artifact. I'm going to sacrifice the Soul Ring because with Mana Reflection, I'm going to have plenty of mana already anyways. I want to keep my boots just in case I do draw into something big and fat, or do play Prime Speaker next turn. Alright. There's Runescarred Demon. It's going to search up something problematic. That's my phone, ignore it. Okay, so he plays Voltaic Key. That's just going to get him extra mana from the Soul Ring. And there's Plague Wind. So there goes like all the creatures. The good thing though is that Brawn is now in my graveyard. It is annoying that I lost Molimo, but it's not like I was going to be able to play Prime Speaker anyways. Sliver Queen does not attack. So Oran Reef is revealed and put into play for me. Oh, the puzzle box is gone too. Crap, that's right. Puzzle box is what the Sliver Queen got rid of. So I'm stuck with the cards in my hand. I couldn't play Master Biomancer because I could only make green mana. What I'll probably do is survival for something now. And actually what I should have done was survival for a card right then. But I forgot. I messed that up. Yeah. Even if it was just like Overbeing of Myth or something like that. Or Sturmgeist. Oh, and there's Terrastodon. Okay, so Terrastodon takes out my Mana Reflection, my Survival, and Martyr's Bond. In which case, I'm not sure that was the best way for him to do it. I got rid of Burgeoning. Okay, and I'm upset here because I accidentally F6'd that turn and I wasn't able to use my Survival because I would have used my Survival to get rid of the Master Biomancer. So that's my fault. That's one of those things where like I just want the game to move along because I had to get like a glass of water or something, and it didn't work out for me well. Azusa plays Steel Hellkite. There's Austere Command in Obzedat's hand, and he goes and commands to get rid of all the creatures and enchantments. So I'm stuck with Swiftfoot Boots, but it does get rid of the Hall of Gemstone, which is good. And it also means that I'm going to be able to... Oh, there's Psychosis Crawler. So we're going to see how many cards Sliver Queen draws. I'm still at 40. Sliver Queen's still at 40. Obzedat's at 35. And Azusa's at 23. Not a whole lot of offense in this game. He fabricates for a Phyrexian Metamorph to copy the Gate to the Aether. And I was kind of surprised by that. I thought for sure he was going to copy Psychosis Crawler. And then sacrifices his Elixir of Immortality to go up to 45. So there's 2 Gates to the Aether, and now I'm going to put two things into play. The first is Lightning Greaves, the second is Phantasmal Image. So I use the image to copy Psychosis Crawler, right? So this is going to be good for my team, my deck, right? So I draw my card, I draw into Genesis. First thing I do is I play Master Biomancer. Then I play Prime Speaker. right? And I draw a bunch of cards, and this is going to allow Psychosis Crawler to hurt people. Unfortunately, what I try to do is I put Lightning Greaves on the Phantasmal Image copy of Psychosis Crawler, which automatically kills it, because I was going to attack, and I'm just an idiot. So, another play mistake. I made a couple of mistakes in this game. But I've got a nice big hand now. And I do manage to put Greaves and the boots on these two guys, and I attack. Okay, so Azusa's down to 14. Obzedat's at 26. The Sliver Queen's at 37. I send the Biomancer after the Sliver Queen because I want Psychosis Crawler dead would be preferable. I don't want him, like, brainstorming, or not brainstorming, but like brain geysering for a bunch. And then I'm going to spend Prime Speaker after Azusa. And then I play Explore, so I can play another land, and I play Miri's Guile, so that I'm down to 7 cards in hand, and I don't have to discard anything. Plus, I've got a Tropical Island untapped, which means I can either Nature's Claim or Pongify something if necessary. So let's see. Azusa gets Mosswort Bridge in a forest, hides away something. And then is going to play... Azusa's at 7. Wolfbriar Elemental kicked for a bunch of wolves, and then regrows something. Oh, he regrew his Terastodon. That's right. I haven't seen this version. This version must have been out for a little while now. And then cultivates to get some more lands. So he's basically just trying to get a bunch of blockers right now. And then he's going to Terastodon probably a bunch of my crap next turn. So I need to kill him ASAP. So Bloodgift Demon comes out for Obzedat, and then he reveals Debt to the Deathless. Let's stop this real quick. Debt to the Deathless is basically a super exsanguinate. So that's annoying. Bloodgift Demon is just a good card. But you know what? He's gonna do something right now. What's he gonna do? He's gonna draw a card. He's gonna tap a bunch of mana. And he's going to play Black Sun Zenith. And he kills everything in play except for Prime Speaker, which is actually a good play. So, let's see what happens here. Gate to the Aether for the Sliver Queen is going to play Temple of the False God and Dimir Guildgate. So it's just going to ramp him a little bit. At first, he's going to play Eternal Witness to get something out of his graveyard. What is he getting? Psychosis Crawler. Alright. And then he plays Psychosis Crawler. And then plays Clock of Omens. And I'm like, not 100% sure I like Clock of Omens, but I haven't seen anything that he's going to do to really like screw with it. So I decided to leave it alone. I also leave the Psychosis Crawler alone because just in case I draw another clone effect or something like that. Alright, so I put Imperial Plate and Multani into play. Yes. Alright. Multani's big, but I cannot give him haste because I can't equip him with anything. However, Imperial Plate can go on to Prime Speaker. And I can kill Azusa right now. And I put Consecrated Sphinx on top of my library so I can draw into it. Just so I can draw more stuff. So first, I'm going to play the Sphinx. Oh, I play Greater Good, that's right. And then the Sphinx. And then I put the Greaves on the Sphinx. And then I put the Imperial Plate on Prime Speaker. And I kill Azusa. Fine. Good game, Azusa. So, let's see here. My Obzedat is at 25. Sliver Queen is at 34. Alright. So he reveals Return to Dust and Reliquary Tower. I'm going to start drawing just a ton of cards based on Consecrated Sphinx. There's Exsanguinate. That's problematic. All right. So Exsanguinate, has a couple of different ways for him just to gain a crap ton of life and kill the entire board. Luckily, I do have Nature's Claim and untapped forests and stuff. So if he plays something problematic, I'll go ahead and Nature's Claim the Exsanguinate in response. So I've just got to pay attention. And then he returns to dust my Imperial Plate and Clock of Omens. And that kills Prime Speaker, which is not a bad thing for me. Oh, no, it didn't kill Prime Speaker. My bad. I gave Prime Speaker to Greater Good. That's right. And I drew a bunch of cards, and I discarded some stuff. If you were paying attention, you could tell what it was. I don't think it was anything exciting. I think it was just like a couple of creature ramp cards, like Hunting Wilds, Wood Elves, and Genesis. Bam. Okay. Stuff I don't really need, and Genesis belongs in my graveyard. Alright. So Gate to the Aether reveals Ghost Quarter and Trinket Mage for the Sliver Queen player. And Multani just gets bigger and bigger with more cards I draw too. And then he plays Font of Mythos. And I'm like, okay, do I... and he Ghost Quarters my Academy Ruins. I'm fine with that. But I've only got 4 basics left in my deck now. So let's see. Really what I want to do is kill off the Obzedat player before he can do some crazy Exsanguinate BS. And Multani's already up to 22-22. There's the sliver, the singular sliver he has. So Gate to the Aether reveals Diluvian Primordial, and I use it to get rid of one of the gates, because I don't want the sliver player like putting something problematic into play. And it also reveals a land, Monamo. So the Primordial is out there. Yeah. So I use Return to Dust to get rid of the Gate to the Aether. I don't use Genesis for anything because I just don't need it at this point. I put Counterspell on top of my library so I draw into it, but it doesn't matter because Font of Mythos is out there. And I've got enough right now to kill off the Obzedat player and send one guy after the Sliver player. And then I'm going to play Venser's Journal just so I don't have to discard anything. There's the journal. And I'm just going to hold back pretty much because I'll play some lands, sure, and I'll play Wake Thrasher just in case. But that leaves me enough mana to have Mana Drain and Counterspell on top of my deck, or in my hands. He reveals Darksteel Forge, which is not as problematic when all my dudes have Shroud. Or not Shroud, Trample. And I draw a bunch of cards from Consecrated Sphinx. At this point, it doesn't really matter. He does draw some cards, and at first he plays Consuming Aberration, which is big, but I let it through. And then he plays Darksteel Ingot, but I don't have many lands left in my deck. So after this one trigger, I'm going to go ahead and blow it up with my Pongify. So I Pongify the Aberration. And then he's going to play Steel Enchantment, and he's going to try and steal my Greater Good. I assume it's so that he can just start drawing stuff and dinging me with Psychosis Crawler or something. I'm not sure. I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to counterspell that. And I do. And then finally he tries to gain some life by sacrificing the Elixir. He's at 34. But what I do at the end of my turn, obviously, is if you have Wake Thrasher in play, you tap everything you can. And then he's going to untap and become huge. I don't even need to play any... Yeah, he's going to get freaking monstrous. There. So... yeah, like Wake Thrasher is a 24-24. Yeah, and he conceded. And then I've got the Sakashima. Oh yeah, I cast Sakashima's version of Multani right there. Anyways, I don't know why I did that, but anyways, it was enough to just murder the crap out of this guy. So I took advantage of a lot of the Gate to the Aether and card draw that this guy was using, and managed to take out the Obzedat and the Azusa player before everything. And here's all my stuff in my hand. So hope you guys enjoyed that game. 12 turns. Check out more. All right, thanks.